And so this here behind me, you can see a major new apartment building development. It looks like about 10 or 12 buildings going up. But in China, this is absolutely typical. From my apartment window, you can see about at least 6 or 8 complexes like this under construction all around the outskirts of Yiwu. And what you saw when I show you the satellite photo looking out my window, this is the apartment complex that is basically eating right into the village that we're going to go look at in just a minute. So for me, this is a story I wanted to share with you guys basically ever since I moved into this apartment, because you can see we're in this very strange position that our apartment complex is really right on the edge of the fully developed city of Yiwu. To the west of me, in this direction, when you look on the satellite map, you can see it's completely developed, all filled in. And to the east, in this direction, you can see the development of the city, little patches of built-up areas, but also a lot of old agricultural area and a lot of little villages. And in particular, there's this one village just right nearby, just a couple of blocks away, that is currently in the process of being eaten by the city. And yeah, when you take a look at the satellite map of this neighborhood, it becomes really clear that we're very much exactly on this boundary. And aside from this village, there's also quite a few other little villages all in this area here that are going to be eaten by the city really soon. And also you can see this apartment complex we're living in now is quite new, and when you look around the horizon around this area of town, you can see multiple, I don't know, 6, 8, 10 different big development projects where they're putting a similar modern apartment buildings in here around the periphery of the city. And you can see this is a brand new highway development. The overpass section is still closed, but eventually, as this is all developed, this will become a sort of a major highway here. So this is an interesting point because basically we're right on the border of New China, this huge new apartment complex being built, and Old China. Here is the old village that's now basically being eaten by the city. And our mission initially was to find out what happens to the people in this village, what's the situation. In a way, we've already partly found the answer to that. But also very interesting is if you look at the ruined building here, and as we come up, come on. So also, my Chinese friend is explaining to me, you can see the red character there. It's in Chinese chai, which means basically for demolition, to be torn down. But also there's the Chinese saying that it also means get rich, because basically the lucky villager who used to live in this thing is going to have maybe 2 or 3 luxury apartments in some brand new apartment complex. And yeah, you can see these houses right here are obviously abandoned. Come on, we'll just take a look. As you can see, yeah, completely empty now, just some garbage in there. But what I'm wondering is, are there any people still living in this village? And let's just see when are they planning to move, or what's the future for their village. So basically, these guys, they were not super keen to talk, and I think understandably so. You can imagine if you're still living in a village and you're right beside the area that's already been demolished and you're eventually going to be moving, but you haven't been given a deal yet, well, you're kind of sitting in limbo. And I think that's, we figured out pretty quickly that most of these people weren't so interested in talking. They were much more interested in getting their government offer and finally changing their circumstances.
拆掉了给他们走。还有其他的那个村庄的都要搬了。哦，其他村庄搬到这里，然后你们是还没有搬过去。哎，我们呢，只要拆掉的时候，全部都到了。哦，但是还没有建好。哎，建好就搬过去。哎，那你们什么时候搬？我们这没有。哦，还没有搬。
And so, yeah, you can see here, right beside the brand new development, some of these villagers still living very traditional village life. You can see the very tiny little alleyway behind me. You can see the corn being dried out in the sun. And yeah, so some of the people still going about their old school lives. And interesting, because even just looking at the clothes drying on the rack, you can get an idea of what family is here. So you can see that there's several generations living together in this house. And another interesting thing is you can see the old style China. You've got these very tiny narrow streets, and obviously too small for a car, but the idea being that, well, in the old days, I mean, bicycle or motorcycle or scooter would be the main transport, or animals, yeah, cows. It's very interesting, this being in this kind of liminal space, or this transitional space, where right behind me is the living village, and then here we're basically moving into the ghost village, where maybe there's still some people living, but very, very shortly, what used to be a beautiful old village alleyway will become a big, huge apartment complex like where I live now. Look at this beautiful old building, Nikki. Oh, and chickens. Walk, walk, walk. Walk, walk, walk. Walk, 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 walk.
Those red lawn is kind of like Grade D dangerous buildings, not allowed to
inhabit.
Yes.
But it's really interesting because it's so beautiful. It's an old, you can see this was a beautiful old building, probably built in, like Nikki, probably built in 50s, 60s.
Yeah. It's smart.
Yeah, you can see people had very nice lives in these little villages.
Go.
So guys, that's it. Thanks for watching right to the end. You know the situation, you know the drill. Please click the little like button. Please click the like button. Please subscribe. Please spend all of your free time, hours and hours, watching every minute of every video that I've put up on my channel. It really does help me, and it helps you. You're gonna learn all about these strange, I'm not supposed to say strange. It helps me, and it helps you, the viewer, to become more aware of the interesting and different and fascinating places all around the world that you haven't managed to go to. Yes?
Go.
So guys, thank you for watching all the way to the end. As always, I hope this has been vaguely informative, marginally interesting to you. It certainly was interesting to me. This is actually one of the videos that I've really wanted to share with you for a long time, ever since I've moved to this apartment. So yeah, thank you very much. Click like, click subscribe. Please spend every hour of your free time just watching over and over all of my videos. It's a huge help to me. It validates me. It makes me feel like my life has meaning in this sad, empty void of existence. And I guess that's it. Drive safe. Be kind. Whatever. Yeah, it's done. Are you still shooting, Mama?
Yes.